All right, welcome everyone. So my name is Jason Peterson. I'm the technology manager with the Clubhouse Network.
And my name is Jake. I am the marketing and communications manager at the Clubhouse Network.
And I am Brendan, the Associate Director of Program Operations here at TCN. And I'm excited to have you here for what we're calling the Grand Tour. Jason, would you mind sharing screen real quick and we can kind of move into the slides here, talk a little bit about what we're going to do and what we're going to take place in this session. Cool. Thanks. Let's go on down to slide 3 here. Those handsome faces, and here we go. All right, so this session. So I know in the room, I've seen people who have been with the network for a while, some who are relatively new. What we really wanted to do, and we realized, is that every now and again, we have a tendency at the Clubhouse Network to introduce some new platforms and some new systems, and some that need updating, and some may come and go, and really wanted to take the time and just give an overview of what are those platforms that we have. Who are they for? How could you use them? What can you find on these different systems? And how can we make sure that they are all working the best way possible for you and your members? So our hope is really just to give you an understanding of what resources are available on all of our different web properties, how to find different services that you might be looking for, and how to connect members and alumni to network opportunities. I'll give you the quick disclaimer. I know this kind of goes against my nature, our nature from a collaborative standpoint. This is going to be one of those, we're hoping to just really give people information. Feel free to ask questions in the chat. If things come up, if you want more information about some of these different pieces, please feel free to ask questions in the chat. But knowing that this is a 30-minute session, we want to make sure that we're able to get as much information out to you as possible. And so it's going to be primarily us sharing information with you and updates of some of these different pieces that are here. But please go in there, ask questions in the chat, and myself, Jake, and Jason can make sure we're answering those as we go. Cool, so we're going to take a little tour of the different platforms that we have, and let's start with numero uno, Jason, is Clubhouse Connect. So what is Clubhouse Connect? Clubhouse Connect is for you as staff members. So if you're a coordinator, if you're a CBO rep, if you're a C2C pathway coordinator, mentor coordinator, Clubhouse Connect is for you. It's just for staff. So it's a place where we can share resources, where you can share resources, where you can ask questions. Basically, if you are a staff member and if you're looking for a resource, an answer, some advice, this is the place to go. It revolves around discussions and libraries. So we have the Clubhouse Network, all of our resources that we have, whether it's logos for the Clubhouse Network, whether it's the new CDC Pathways guide, if it's the new youth leadership toolkit that we've developed, Clubhouse Connect is the first place you should go to look for those. In addition, it's set up in a way where you can share resources as well. So if you develop some templates, if you develop some resources that you want to share with others, please do so. This is definitely a place that is open, not just for us to share resources, but for you to share them as well. And that's really the beauty and the strength in this platform, is the ability for everyone to share, and it's not just one way. And also you can ask questions. So you may have, you might want to get a new 3D printer and want to ask which one breaks down the least, or who do people have the most success with? Please ask those questions here as well. That's what it's for, is for questions, conversations, resources to be shared. So Clubhouse Connect, you can get to by going to connect.theclubhousenetwork.org. I'll also say this, unlike some of the other things you'll see later on, there is a login required, and it's an individual login that's associated to access Clubhouse Connect. So if by chance you do not currently have access, or are unsure if you do have access, please reach out to myself, Jake, or Jason, and we can make sure to look in our system and get the login info your way so that you're able to create your account and get on to Connect. This also become our hub for Immersion Week and all of the resources that people are sharing during this virtual conference. We'll make sure we go up on Clubhouse Connect as well. So that's Clubhouse Connect, our staff resource place where you can share, access resources, and ask questions. And Jason, we can go on to the next one here. The next one is probably the one that you maybe have heard about the most, know the most about, but also have probably heard the least about recently, or us kind of pointing you there, because we are developing a brand new version of it as we speak, which should be ready for beta testing in the next few weeks. So let's talk about more conceptually, what is the Village? And then I'll talk about what this next version of the Village is. The Village is a place that revolves around projects. You need to have an account. It's for members, for mentors, for coordinators, to have accounts to be able to revolve around projects. It's our kind of version of an online private member-only social network that revolves around projects. So where you can share projects and share ideas, you can get inspiration from other projects. You can talk about projects that are shared, and you can see some tutorials. It really is this place where, especially if that member says, I'm not quite sure what to do today, that first kind of thought might be, let's go onto the Village and see what we can find, and what are you interested in, and start getting some inspiration. And also the last thing for you to say, once a member finishes a project, be able to say, you know what you should do next is you should share it on the Village so that others can see it as well. Is ideally every member across the network in every country, every clubhouse would have their Village account, so that we can create this online community in a somewhat similar way to this community that we've created over the past few days and nurtured over the past few days through the conference. So how do we have our online version of that for members to share projects and connect with others around the network and get some advice and thoughts and suggestions. So the Village is coming soon. This new version is completely built from the ground up. If you've been on the old version, you know that it's old, you know that it needs work. We understand that as well. And the new version is coming in the next beta testing in the next few weeks. And we should be fully launching this summer and continuing to add new features and functionality. The biggest ones here, ability for people to share. Biggest new features here is ability to create public profiles that you can share with external non-Village members. Our version of digital badges. So all of that will live here in the Village, but the core essence of a place where to share projects and get inspiration will take place within the Village. All right, next slide, and I'll toss it over.
All right, thank you, Brendan. So the Reach Media Festival, we're all aware of this. We had the premiere of our 6th festival winners just yesterday. This is a platform for members. So this is for Clubhouse members at all of our clubhouses and teen tech centers to share their projects in a number of categories. At the moment, we're at 13 categories. And they range from things like photography, illustration, graphic design, numerous different video categories such as documentary video, narrative video, public service announcements. And the whole goal of the festival is to express creativity, for the youth to gain exposure, and for your members to win prizes for your clubhouses. So each year we have very generous support from Best Buy, and we have some really terrific prizes. I'll just add real quick, we do apologize for the technical hiccup in the presentation yesterday, but it's on demand right now, and I encourage you to please go back and watch that video at the beginning. Jeff Arthur did a really terrific job.
Yeah, as Jason said, if you go to clubhousereach.org, it's worth watching that really fantastic awards presentation, if for no other reason than to see the exceptionally handsome fellow that introduces the music category. He stands out. So last summer was a traumatic summer, and we, in the midst of figuring out, oh my gosh, what are we going to do with closed clubhouses, or what are we going to do about an annual conference that may not happen? We recognized that we were in a position where we didn't have an outlet for our young people, for our members, to express themselves specifically on these two topics, these two issues facing both everyone and our teens, specifically around the pandemic that had just set in, where all of a sudden our teens had their lives turned upside down, and systemic racism, which, while not new, there was just a lot in the news and a lot in people's faces. So we recognized, okay, if we are here to support youth expression and creative expression and youth empowerment, then we have an obligation to find a way to support and amplify youth voices around these important topics. It's not here to compete with Reach. The Reach Media Festival has a very specific timeline and season to it, and the Village in its prior state, well, it's not accessible to the public, and frankly, is sort of at the end of its career. So we built ClubhouseVoices.org. So it is still up. It is alive. It is there to collect and share projects that members create, whether it's on the topic of the pandemic or systemic racism. And the way it works is, we know that young people already have a outlet, and that is called social media. So we encouraged them, and we encourage our coordinators to support them in posting this content, sharing it with the world, and tagging it Clubhouse Voices. And then we collect it and aggregate this content on this website. So it's particularly meaningful content. It's particularly powerful stuff, but it's all youth created content. And it's been up since last summer. And we look forward to the new content that comes in. So the sort of obvious website, we didn't lead with it because it may not be the most useful to everyone all the time, but that is the ClubhouseNetwork.org. And the way in which I think this website is useful to you is any content that you see on this website, it's yours. So if you were to go to the mission page, you can copy and paste that mission statement right into a grant. That is yours. On the pages that have some of our annual reports or our content around our youth impact surveys, that is also your content. It's great for when you want to speak about, many of you work for host organizations where you have different priorities and other things to talk about. Well, when it comes to speaking specifically about the Clubhouse and the work we do, this may be a website that you can use to explain who we are, what we do, and your affiliation. On that website, we have a specific section. We have a landing page, the ClubhouseNetwork.org alumni, and this is specifically for alumni. Folks who were once Clubhouse members or Teen Tech Center members and are no longer. We know how important it is to keep supporting our youth and our members after their time at the Clubhouse has come to a close. And this is for them. The idea is that if you're ever in conversation with them, you can send them to the clubhousenetwork.org/alumni. And on this page, they can find all sorts of resources. And what's been very cool is watching how our alumni have used these resources. So we've recorded webinars for professional development. We review resumes as they come in for our alumni. For alumni that want to go on to mentor at a site, whether it's one where they were a member or it's another site because they've moved and they're in a new location, we want to help make those connections. So this is for them. We also have a Facebook group and a LinkedIn group for our alumni, so they can keep networking and expand their professional networks. That's what this section of the website is for, and we point it out in particular because there's just a lot there, and we want you to know that it is all there for you to take, pretend it's your own, and give it to your alumni.
I think this was you as well, Jake, or was this me?
Doesn't matter
Oh,
to me.
oh,
Do you mind?
Yep, I can grab this. So the clubhousenetwork.org/locations. This is our locations page on our website, and I believe it's the most popular page on our website in terms of Google search results. So this page lists all of our open clubhouses. So if you're with a clubhouse or a teen tech center that's not yet open, in the process of opening, you're not going to see it on there just yet. But as soon as you open, you will see it there. So in addition to having all the clubhouses listed on this page, you can actually click through on each of these clubhouses, and you're going to see that each individual clubhouse and teen tech center has its own dedicated page. And those pages have things like a description of the clubhouse, open hours, there might be a video or other information displayed there. So this is a service that we provide. We understand that not all of you can create your own websites, and not all of you have very much in the way of IT support. So we wanted to make sure that you had something, you had some sort of web presence. These pages rank pretty well in terms of Google search results. So I would recommend keeping your information up to date on those pages. Jake sends out a jot form a few times a year, reminding you to submit updates for your location. But you can reach out to him absolutely anytime to update any of the information on those pages. And we encourage you to do so. We want to have the best data possible for your clubhouses on these web pages. So with that, Jake, how do you want to proceed? Do we want to open up to questions, or?
Let's do the activities, but let's take it off screen sharing so we can see some faces.
Sure.
We're going to do a little scavenger hunt. That is to say, we're going to talk about a couple things, and we want to know where you think you might find these resources or these things. So, for example, let's say, and you can either post your answer in the chat or just blurt it out, because I think we're all very patient and polite, and I think we need a couple moments in our day to just blurt things out. But if you needed to find a version of the Clubhouse Network logo or the Clubhouse logo to use on a website or in a grant or something like that, where do you think you would find it?
Clubhouse Connect.
Yeah, look at that. 3 answers, Clubhouse Connect in the chat as well. Well done, everybody. Yes. You go to Clubhouse Connect and you go to resources, and there's a folder of marketing materials, and you will find the Clubhouse Network logo there in a variety of sizes, shapes, and file types. All right, new question. Where might you find an inspirational movie made by a Clubhouse youth?
Media reach.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you might find it on the Voices as well.
These are all good answers. These are all
true.
good answers. So Reach is certainly where you would find the quote-unquote award-winning ones. There are also videos on Clubhouse Voices because our youth make voices on the topics that Clubhouse Voices cover. And certainly The Village, the past Village and the future Village, or the classic Village and the new and upcoming Village will be places for youth to upload their media. Particularly if they want feedback on it, maybe before they enter it into contests. All right. What if you, let's say you've got an alumni, someone who has recently graduated, or finished school, wherever they are, but they are 19 and maybe they've aged out of the Clubhouse. Where would they find, I gave away the answer in my question, we're going to do it anyways. Where would you find a webinar that helps an alumni build out their LinkedIn profile? There it is. And I hear the guy who hosts that webinar, also very handsome. All right, last question, and then we will take questions. Where might I find the open hours for a specific clubhouse? That is, what hours they are open to their members. There it is, location page. Well done, everybody. I know, and here's the thing: we've only glossed over. We've only hit on a couple things we think are particularly useful, but we really encourage everyone to take some time and get lost on these websites. As we mentioned, Clubhouse Connect, it's not just the materials that we provide to you, but you provide to each other. So I couldn't possibly list all of the things that are on that website. With Clubhouse Reach, we have winners going back as far as the festival's creation. So I think that makes 6 years of winners and really fantastic media worth your time. Are there any questions? We've got, I actually don't know when we're done.
We've got 8 minutes.
But I would love to take, Jason and I would love to take any questions either on something you've seen or something you've heard about, and you're not sure where to find it, or if it's us, it's, if we were to have done this tour in public, maybe you would have seen something and said, oh, we passed that. What was that thing I saw over there? What was that? We'd like to be as helpful as we can while we're all here together.
Who do we email about updating the hours?
Great question. You can email me. I'll put my contact in the chat right now. And I'd be happy to take care of that for you. Thank you.
Jake, is the village gonna just be for projects? Like no other information on it, just? So
I don't know how much information I'm allowed to leak out in advance of when it rolls out. We are, I'm looking at Jason as if he's sitting right next to me to tell me when to.
There are no state secrets.
Okay.
When it comes to the new village, it's all public information.
Sure. So again, it will be it'll be for members. It will be and mentors. It will be centered around projects, but there are places to have discussions. There will be certainly places for things like tutorials and how to instructions that we used to that were on the Classic Village. We're not bringing over a lot of the old content because a lot of that content is instructions for software that doesn't exist anymore. And there's a real opportunity to hit the reset. What I think the most the coolest new feature is going to be portfolios. So that is to say, a member could upload a dozen projects, and let's say 5 of them are really really stellar, and maybe they would want to share them with potential employers. Well, they'll be able to select a portfolio option and make it publicly visible. So it'll be up to the members to decide which projects they want to make publicly available, publicly visible. But the idea is that we want to send our members out into the world with ready to go portfolios based on the work they've created. I saw a question in the did I answer your question, Aaron, before I take the questions out of?
Yes, you did.
Great. Candace has a question about existing village members. I believe we're also going to use this opportunity to do a clean reset on a lot of data. A lot of contact information we have is not particularly up to date. So I do believe we're just going to use that opportunity to set new usernames and passwords for folks. Will there be a new screensaver like the Village 2.0 had? Do people still do screensavers? Are screensavers still a thing? Was that a mean response? I'm sorry. it is a place for projects. And you know what? If a member wants to make a screensaver, they're going to be able to do it, and this is going to be a place for it.
I think I know what you're talking about, Leon. Although I haven't seen it on the current village, Classic Village. And I remember, I think it came up in our conversations at some point during the development of the new village. But if we are talking about the same thing, it's not going to be a feature, at least not a launch feature for the new village. But if there's an interest, our intention is to continue to develop the platform after launch and to add features over time. So that is certainly something that we could consider creating or recreating in this case.
Yeah, I really can't give enough credit to Jason and the team he's leading. The new village will be much more scalable. So there will be opportunities to make changes as, frankly, the community changes. And, every 5 years, the expectations of our members are very different, and we hope we're in a better position to evolve with them. Jason, can you speak to the questions in the chat around beta testing?
Yes, so we absolutely are still accepting beta testers. I assume because you asked, Harvey, that you're interested. I will go ahead and write down everybody's name here who expresses an interest here. So Harvey, I've got you, Leon. Looks like you've also expressed an interest. And we've got a few more. So, this is terrific. Thank you. Beta testing has been delayed, unfortunately. I know that we started messaging that we were going to be starting beta testing earlier this year. But this project has been slowed down, unfortunately, due to a number of factors, including the pandemic. So we are pushing forward as best as we can, and we're getting very close to jumping into the next round of beta testing. So we'll be reaching out soon regarding that, and we appreciate your patience.
Excellent. We focused a lot on the village, and that's awesome. I know that's exciting. And we're certainly happy to keep that conversation going after this is over. The more insight we have and the more understanding of what the community needs, the better the end product will be. But we do have we have a minute left, and I know there are other sessions to go to. I'm going to post all of the links of the sites we went over in the chat. So if you want to copy them and bookmark them, please do that. Make sure I got them right. But otherwise, thank you so much, everyone, for attending. We hope this was useful. We hope you learned something new. We hope you found at least one thing to take with you back, to to your day-to-day work. And we're also always interested in what you like or you think could be better about any of these platforms. I got some feedback earlier today on our locations pages, and I look forward to speaking further with that staff member about how we can make it better.
Thank you guys for the tour.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.